think about the conversations that Jenny Gilder and Lisa Brummel and I had around the possibility of this. You know, what would it mean if our team had a home?
The Storm, they're staying closer to Seattle. You see some of the renderings right here. Plans to build their facility on a 50,000 square foot parcel in the Interbay neighborhood here in Seattle.
What would it mean if we could actually build a center where we could bring everything together and these professional athletes could actually have the resources and the space to perform their very best and really to finally get what they deserve.
We've always wanted a home for our organization. So when I think about home, the first thing I think is it's about belonging, being safe, regeneration, and inspiration. And that's really what we're about here at the Storm. So when we were looking for a contractor, and it's also true when we were looking for our owner's rep and for our architects, we wanted a group of people who were going to represent the diversity that we have in our organization and who are also going to share that set of values. We care an enormous amount about respecting people, including people, getting a diversity of perspective to enrich our organization, and frankly, to help us be the best business we can. But Selland really demonstrated that they cared about the same value set that we do. And we were not wrong when we chose them. We wanted to create a place where our players knew, first and foremost, they belonged. This is theirs. They're not an afterthought. It was built thinking about what women and girls need. And for us, that was supremely important. But really, it was about setting a new standard of expectations and also inspiring other communities to think about, what are we doing for this 50%? Maybe we should be doing things a little differently. Maybe it's time to step into the new century and really start treating girls and women athletes the same as we treat boys and men. So even now, a few months in, every time I walk into this building, it makes me want to cry. The first time I walked through it was with Lisa Brummel. It was just amazement and this feeling of unreality, like we actually did this. There are a lot of people who came together to make this happen. The first, I have to say, is my partnership with Lisa Brummel. Amazing leader. The next partner is Alicia Valavanis, our CEO, who makes all these dreams happen, who brings in the right team, who inspires people, manages people. From there was the group of investors without whom we could not have afforded to build this building. BECU took on lending us a lot of money at a time when they really weren't in the business of lending money to sports organizations. They took a leap and invested in the Seattle Storm. Our owner's rep, Maria Barrientos, was the general of this whole project. ZGF, our main architects, well, we ended up with a beautiful building because of them. And then, of course, there was Selland, who made this happen, who built it. The next person was the first architect that we went to, Spiro Valavanis, who's Alicia's father. And Spiro was the person who I went to, thinking that this was crazy. I thought it was crazy, and yet I just wanted to do it so badly. I don't know where the drive to do something comes from, really, but for me it's always very personal, and it's about something much deeper than business logic. He didn't have to talk to me for 5 minutes. He just came knowing that. And he took this insane idea seriously. He dropped the adjective of insane and made it viable. And then Trisha on the other side, she rode herd like she always had for her whole 16 plus years, tenure with the Storm, on all the financial details. So you had Spiro on the one hand, who took the big idea and made it real. And then you had Trisha, who handled all the financial details that made it really possible. I have to say that it is really devastating that neither one of them got to see the opening. I really wish they had.
What do you think it would have been to step inside?
I think he just would have felt so satisfied and proud and happy that he got to do something not only with our organization, but with his daughter. My sense is that getting to do what he loved professionally with someone he adored so much was incredibly important. Trisha was always someone who stayed in the background. She never looked for the limelight. Satisfaction that she would have felt standing in this conference room and looking out at a practice and seeing how beautiful our courts are, how beautiful the building is, how it all turned out, would have made her feel like, we got this done.